What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be a little different. I want to start doing some special features, maybe once a month, once every other month on the channel, rather than just feeding you guys a bunch of crazy nonsense photo shoot stuff. So basically, to introduce this, I want to kind of start a really casual, like meet the owners, meet their project, meet their car. So just little features of local people in Salt Lake's cars that I think are special, and I just want to spend some time with them. We'll have a little chat, intro the car, intro the owner, and then we'll talk about the car a little, go on a little cruise and just let you guys kind of experience. Maybe we'll get some coffee in some of these because you guys know I love that too. But to start this, we are here today with Jesse. He has this beautiful 964 over here. So I dragged him all the way up to Salt Lake. We're gonna hear a little bit about his car, what he's done to it, and then we'll go rip around downtown, have a little fun with it. He has a beautiful Leica. We'll take some photos with that. So photo people will appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, tell us about your car, the year, specs, model.
So it's a 1990 Porsche 911 964 is the chassis code. They made this car from 1989 to 1994. It's the second to last air-cooled, so it's not the very last. But one of the reasons why it's so popular is because it retains the classic silhouette of the earliest 911, so all the way back to 64. The next generation is the 993 chassis, which is also very loved. It's the very last air-cooled. However, the front headlights are more sloped and a little bit wider. The form factor is slightly different. I bought this car about a year and a half ago. Actually for my 30th birthday. It was a goal of mine. We went down to Florida and test drove a few cars. I was determined not to buy a car sight unseen and to also not have my mind made up before I got there. So I test drove some 993s, the very last air-cooled, test drove a handful of 964s, visited a bunch of shops, and as soon as I drove this car, I pretty much knew it was the one. I'd been looking for a very specific colorway. Black on black is quite hard to find, and I was looking for a clean car, low owners, low miles, and that's what I found. So I bought it almost completely stock. Everything that I've done so far to the car has been focused on the suspension and chassis, along with driver position. Next would be brakes. The next thing I would look to do would be brakes, and then perhaps an engine build. As it sits right now, it's mostly a kind of momentum car that's quite loud and a real...
It is very loud. For anyone who hasn't heard this, which you will, it's insane.
A real visceral experience. It's very different than the car I drive every day, and it's very different than kind of my tame day job, you know, during the work week. So I've made a habit out of driving this car at least every Friday and weekend in summers. Last year I put about 5,000 miles on it, and so it's getting a lot of use. Most recently I worked with a shop in California called R Strada. We set up the suspension, chassis, and wheels, worked with JRZ suspension, which is a very competitive racing coilover, and then BBS North America to custom build these wheels. It's the first set on a 964.
But we gotta show everyone, because these are insanely beautiful. Which, by the way, here's the car, so you can all appreciate how beautiful this thing is. But yeah, how long have you had these wheels on it?
That was an addition earlier this year, and so everything I've done kind of to this point has been very motorsport inspired, period correct. These wheels are the BBS E88s, and they were ran on 964 race cars of the same period. So in the early 1990s, Porsche started a program called the Porsche Cup, which was to encourage owners to get out and race their cars, as well as kind of privateer teams. And so this car is kind of an homage to the Porsche 964 Carrera Cup cars of its time. So you see I have a half cage, and the interior is...
let's jump in that real quick.
Fired.
Okay, so you guys check this out. Beautiful bar in the back of here. It looks, also the smell of this. What wheel is that you have on it?
It's the Momo Mod 7.
That's so cool. It's just, yeah, we gotta show her in these wheels. And then, yeah, you're running some super sticky proxies on there.
Yeah.
They're so thick. What size are these?
So the wheels are 18 by 8.5 in the front, 18 by 10.5 in the rear.
There you go.
And then 225 in the front, 255 in the rear.
They fit it so well.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy with the suspension setup. The damper is a really kind of high-end race progressive damper.
Yeah.
So in the corners, as the suspension loads, it feels very stable and gets a little bit stiffer. One of my favorite things about Porsche is that Porsche North America and kind of globally support modifying cars. And also supports the air-cooled. So when I got the alignment done, I just took it down to Porsche and said I want the alignment set up like the 964 RS.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
And then, you know, because they still support these cars, they have it all in their systems. It's pretty much the exact specs of the 964 Carrera RS.
That's so cool.
As far as caster and toe, but with more camber.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm able to quickly tell them that, and they're able to set it up that way.
That's awesome.
Above 100 miles per hour on throttle in a turn, it feels very stable, which I think is pretty
so
unique
crazy.
for old Porsches. So that's how we kind of have it set up right now.
That's so cool. It's so beautiful. I can't wait to get in the scene. Here it goes. I gotta show you guys. We'll see if we can get under here. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see the exhaust on there. So which exhaust was this one? It's the like Cup exhaust, right?
Yeah, so it initially started as basically the Carrera Cup exhaust, which would be stock header, stock cat, and then primary and secondary delete. It's now pretty much evolved into a pure straight pipe.
It sounds so good.
Whether or not it stays that way will be determined, but it's kind of intoxicating, so I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of it.
Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna have him hop in real quick and start this thing so you guys can hear it. And then we're gonna cruise downtown and I'll hop in with him and we'll do a little lap. But listen to this car. You guys, it is so loud. You can literally feel this in your chest. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I've had dinner.
Also, we got some good light.
Yeah.
It looks so beautiful.
Right there.
Oh. Okay, we're cruising downtown, but we saw a coffee shop that's open, so you know, naturally we had to grab some. Oh, come on, show the people this. That is so beautiful.
It's a Leica M6. It was actually almost the exact same year that this was made, and just as this is the last, it's actually the second to last air-cooled. This is the second to last 35mm film Leica with an in-camera light meter, or TTL, through the lens light meter.
For anyone who doesn't know, to me, that's a Ferrari. So that is the Ferrari of all film cameras. So that's so beautiful. Such a nice sound.
Single frame.
It's so cool. Okay, you guys, so we got some coffee from, I think it's called Red Moose, and it's 1,000,000 degrees. So we're gonna drink this and then head back downtown. We just thought and had to stop for coffee because I haven't had it all day.
So the airbag delete matches the floorboards, which match the adjustable pedals.
Oh, with the holes right there, huh?
Yeah. So on the dash is the airbag delete.
It's right here.
And then floorboards, which would be similar to the RS race car. And then if you come to the driver's side, you can see that the pedals are adjustable here to make it easier to heel-toe shift, because the pedal positioning in 964 stock is quite difficult. There's a large gap between the brake and the accelerator, so you can bring the gas pedal out, allowing you to heel-toe much easier.
That's such a good setup in there. Is this like the setup that everyone uses for it, or is there
a lot of people use it. This is kind of the most highest level of adjustability. But yeah, Renline does a great job for air-cooled cars.
It fits so well in there with all that. That's so cool. Yeah, that's cool. So that airbag delete right there matches that footrest right there. And then we need to put the smell in for everyone else who hasn't experienced.
Yeah, pretty much all air-cooled cars smell the same. And
so
also all old VWs smell the same. They were all produced in Germany around the same area within the same 20 years.
It's so good. You can't beat it. And it's something that once you experience it, you always have to have. You want every car to smell like that. Here is 3 of my favorite things. We have coffee, we have old Porsches, and we have Leicas. We got all the good stuff. That sounds so good, you guys. Jesse's just pulling up. I'm gonna hop in with him real quick and we'll go do a couple laps around here and we'll show you guys this thing. This sounds so terrifying downtown. How's driving it downtown? It's loud. I really hope this comes through because it's amazing and you feel it. You hear it, you feel it. It's so cool seeing everyone's reactions to this. Everyone loves this thing so much.
Yeah.
We got AC blowing in here.
Yeah, one of the things that was pretty important to me was to keep the drivability of it.
Yeah.
And so it has AC, it has cruise control. You know, I mentioned Porsche supporting old cars. I think we mentioned this last time we talked, but this is the Porsche Classic Radio, which, you know, has Bluetooth. It's connected to my phone here. And then if I were to come over here, it actually has navigation.
Oh, dang.
And Renline, the same company that makes this phone mount, which is actually probably my absolute favorite mod on the entire car.
Having the phone mount?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And so just between the AC, cruise control, and radio, I mean, it feels a lot like, you know, the modern creature comforts that you appreciate in a new car.
And then you open it up. Yeah, no, cruising next to this though was so cool. It's so loud. It's an experience even to be next to this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at how cool it is having that roll bar back there. It's a good color too. Okay, you guys, we're 2 blocks from City Creek, and for those of you in Salt Lake, you know there's one little tunnel downtown. So of course we're gonna take the Cup exhaust 964 through it. So we'll get you guys a little hookup on this thing through the tunnel. I might have to hop out once just to film it coming through, but we'll see. Quick cop check. I feel like sound picks up better this way, so we'll see. I don't need to describe that. It's just I'm leaving it at that. I had to run down here so I could get another video of him. He's gonna rip through here again. Oh my goodness. How do you describe that? It's crazy. Have you ever heard that thing from the outside? Dude, that is insane.
Not really.
That is, it's not even funny.
It's definitely louder under a bridge.
Goodness.
And then
I think everyone needs one of these.
one of my favorite parts was actually what led me to want to purchase the car is the transmission. So the 964 and 993 came with a G50, G64 transmission, which is regarded as the best Porsche air-cooled transmission. So like the Singer cars use the same transmission in a 6-speed version from the 993.
Okay.
And it feels very notchy. It feels very tight and very direct. So actually rowing through the gears is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside it sounds correct, so
Yeah.
it's so cool. I need one of these really, really bad.
Yeah, you do.
I think it's time that I had something like this. Okay, you guys, I just hopped out. I'm gonna do a quick little flyby with him just so you guys can hear it from the outside. I'll have him come back and then I'll probably wrap this up and end it. I'm gonna do photos with him. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already, because I get to bring you more fun stuff like this. So we'll have him cruise by real quick. Okay, you guys, there it is. There's Jesse's beautiful, beautiful 964. Everyone, take a second and thank him for helping out. This is so cool being able to do that with you. I hope to bring you guys more of these. Okay, we gotta show this before we end though, just one more time, because I love this way too much.
The biggest thing I was saying is this camera and this car are kind of from the same era, so I think, you know, I also have a digital Leica, but I think it's quite cool to shoot film that's period correct equipment for a car that was made in the 90s.
It's so good.
And
it's built better too, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, when you think about the 911 and the Leica M system, it's quite similar in that they both had the same design for 50 years.
Yeah.
Changed very, you know,
just
minorly.
Barely tweaked, yeah.
Instantly recognizable. They're both German.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
It's, you know.
It's a perfect combo.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so pretty. So wait, what lens was that on there again?
This is a Voigtlander 50mm 1.5 Nocton. So it's pretty, quite a simple lens, but for shooting film, I like it.
I mean, that's part of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So. It's just so good. Here, look at this. Let me see if, can people see that? Yeah, look at that. That is the most beautiful thing. It's just so good. I wish people could experience the sound of this. It's the most, it's like a metal just shook. It's so good. I will link his page below, so go show him some love. He has a beautiful page, but he posts some photos from that on there. He does a ton of fun stuff. He has some fun Defender stuff on there. So go show his page some love. I'll link it below. But make sure you guys subscribe and like this video. Leave a comment if there's a car you want to see, or if you have one that you would like on here, because I would love to do that with you. Like always, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace.